cool. So I wanted to approach this as a little bit of a masterclass, a bit of awareness class, not necessarily every single piece of the puzzle class, because there are intricacies to this that I could never cover in the time I have now. But what I do know, if you're in this group, and especially if you're in my inner circle group, you have the resources to find the intricacies of every step of it. The archive of work file has every single thing you need in it. The membership site has every single step of the process I'm about to teach. But I also get to sit here, and one of the keys to leadership is something called prediction. What's it called? Prediction. So I have a love-hate relationship with it, because I don't think I'm particularly amazing at it. But what I do, the more I do it, the better I get at it. And I get to see little trends, and I get to be ahead of the curve a little bit. And this is one that I think, I don't know the timing of it, but it is going to happen. It's the same way as what I'll never forget our quarterly. I don't even know if I ever told you the story. So we had a quarterly planned, and we're sitting in the quarterly. Now, my business partner is in Spain, and Spain went through everything. My Spanish docs went through everything a little bit sooner than us. So he lives in Soto Grande, just outside Gibraltar, and he flew down for our quarterly, and he sits in the quarterly, and we, oblivious to, I don't know how I could have been, but what was going to happen was hard lockdowns. It was inevitable. Spain was going into it, and he was in there. They had drones in the street. You couldn't leave your house. It was insane. And he got into the quarterly, and he was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because you do realize that, whatever our agenda was for quarterly is going, nothing else matters. We're going to lockdown. And then we're like, are we? We're like, you're being a bit paranoid, dude. He's like, dude, it's coming. And my team from Halsa that were here will tell you, we just scrapped the whole agenda, and all we did was plan. How do we run the front desk? If we had no front desk, virtual front desk, for a full day. We looked at the scenarios. What if this team, we didn't even know the scenario. We didn't know what PPE was. We didn't know anything yet, but we just tried. We tried, but it really helped us. It served us to get through that a little bit better, because we had our attempt at prediction. So my attempt at prediction here, and I'm often pretty spot on with these things, I just can't tell you the timing. The timing is, or my prediction is, your first sentence is, the world is opening up. Okay? If you're in North America, Canada, I know Canada, many of the states and stuff like that, in Canada, in Texas and places like that, we're way open already. In UK, we've got this opening. Was it Monday? Freedom Day. How many of you realize that we have very little freedoms? Fucking hell. Anyway, but there'll still be the perception of it. And if anything, I think that this type of event, if you think of how well attended this type of event is, where if you look at my inner circle mastermind, in my inner circle, about 100 members in my inner circle level, just about. Right, that we have, I don't know what our actual attendance rate is, but it's high. It's super high. And if you look at what just happened in this room, how many of you are excited to be in a live room again? Yeah, how many of you are excited about a party tonight? Yeah, cool, right? But now, guess what's going to happen? The same thing's going to happen for live events in your practices. Because I think there's going to be a little slingshot where people are like, I'd love to come to a little conference. And there's drinks and there's food and there's whatever. And I know you guys, Julia and Spencer in particular, nailed the patient appreciation event. If you did good ones before, your next one, it's going to be your best. You should film it. So if you haven't done a patient appreciation event before, now's the time to do it. And if you've done one before and it was good, oh boy, the next one's going to be amazing. Because much like this event, I could feel it when you guys came in the room. And I could feel it, people were like, kids are at home, we're in. Some of you haven't been able to get here for 4 years. But post-lockdown, this is an opportunity. It's nice to mingle. It's good to get with some good people. And it's good to just, the word is, not just socialize, but connect and get close to people again. And I think that's also one of the reasons we were pretty resilient in these lockdowns, is that human nature craves touch. And, I've done a lot of personal development. So I remember going to this conference once, and you're all lying on the floor. You're all lying on the floor, super woo-woo, by the way. So, I couldn't even, tell you half the shit we did. honestly. And then, so you're lying on the floor and like I don't know what you're doing, like humming or something. And then like everyone say, spread your legs out, spread your arms out, whatever. And then they say like, oh, you might, and you sometimes inevitably like touch someone next to you. And it was interesting, like the presenter said, it's okay, let yourself touch the person next to you appropriately. And they're like, because I know you want to. And like I remember her saying that. She's actually going to come speak to this group soon. She's amazing. You had her before. But she just said, look, like we crave affection. It's human nature. It's not like a weird thing. It's human nature that we crave some type of touch and embrace. And it was like okay, like I don't have to fondle the person next to you, but just go say hello. Chill. You two, chill. Okay. So just like you can touch the person next to you, just like hands, stuff, feet. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting concept, And then I have not quite been able to explain how resilient we've been through this crisis. I can't quite explain it. We touch people for a living in a pandemic. Just conceptualize that for a moment. How many of you have done records in the last year at some point? Like this, that should not happen. Should not happen. It's a little weird. So if you look at the marketplace, how the marketplace is craving some type of human interaction and touch, and you've been the center of that, just about the only place it's appropriate to go get touched is your chiropractor at the moment. Think about it. The only place. So I'm like, wow, how weird is that to be in the right place? I believe what's about to happen is you got the same opportunity. And it might be a short little lived window. Now, I truly believe I've become a better coach since I had to learn how to grow this business, my consulting business. None of us in this game, let me give you the flip side. None of us in the consulting game had ever seen show-up rates to virtual things like we did during Corona. Do you guys remember when we went into lockdown? How many calls did I do a week? 5 calls a week. Packed. Middle of the day. Now, I know you had nothing else to do. But you understand, like that was that element of connection. It was like, we're in trouble. We need to connect as a tribe. I think it's going to flip the other way for us in the service-based business if you're clever. Everyone, you do this. Say, I'm clever. And point next to the next person next to you, say, you're clever too. So here's what I'm going to teach you, though. I'm going to tell you this. If you actually heed the moment and go, there's an opportunity here for me to jump on patient appreciation events, live events, talks. I don't know about corporate yet. I'm playing around with that yet. My corporate team is not in action at the moment. And my screening team is starting to get into action. But the next thing where's Ben? I've told Ben in Halsa, I've been like, Ben, like, live events, we're starting filming live events soon. And here's the worst thing you can do. And I could see it happening in my team. I can see it happening in a lot of teams here. Is how many of you had pretty good new patients in the last quarter? And how many of you did no? Raise your hand if you did no screenings or in-house live talks in your practice. So I did no screenings either, and we had the same almost records, same number of new patients. So now, but the temptation is to go, well, we were doing it before. Why do we now need to go back to doing screenings and talks? Because we were doing just. You're in trouble. You're in trouble because you're playing around with the dangerous sentence, and that is, I shouldn't have to ism. Oh, well, I shouldn't have to is, like, I'm busy enough, I shouldn't have to. And whenever you finish that, I shouldn't have to ism, it's like, it's a mistake waiting to happen. I can see it happening in my team because our screening's hard to organize and logistically tough to get people to go to them. Are they? Yeah. Yes. Now, you might be being lulled into a false sense of security. I don't know. But if in the consulting world, my show-up rates were like I've never seen the consulting world alive, I'm willing to bet that if I speak to any coach and consultant or online marketer, what company did records over lockdown? Amazon, Zoom. So the market was like so primed for online offers, in-house screening offers, lead generation offers. So you may have had an amazing quarter, but the market might have been giving you a false indication of how successful those really are because everyone's moved more online. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when people have the luxury to do stuff like they normally did. You guys with me, yes? But I do think, even if it's for 3 months or 6 months or a year, I think there's going to be a couple months now where your show-up rates, and I could be 100% wrong, I'm prepared to be 100% wrong. But the question is, are you prepared to be 100% wrong? I.e., go for it, and if you fail, that's fine. But I do think, I'm predicting that there's going to be a window where our show-up rates and our registration rates for live events is something like we've never seen. So we want to be ahead of the curve. You guys with me? Yes? Cool. Hello? Yes. Cool. So are you ready for this piece? Yes. Cool. So just basics of it are why live events is the next line. So first of all, let's go to that. And I'll give you my classification. Let's give you a classification of live events first, and then I'll go why live events. Or should it the other way around? Well, let me first say this. There's two people I talk about often. One is the most read person I've most read in the world, and I talk about him often. I'm very shameless about who my coaches are. Nothing I ever teach you is mine. I tell you guys that all the time. I had to learn it somewhere. I didn't come out of the womb knowing what an in-house screening was, did I? So I had to learn the concepts of that from different places. So Dan Kennedy is one of my most read people ever. I still devour his content. He's flippin' brilliant, and he writes amazingly well. The person I've listened to most live in the room is Blair Singer, who you guys have all heard me speak about before, and I pay lots of homage to my mentors and coaches, don't I? Yeah, like all the time. Like I talk about all the time, right? Maybe it's like a self-preservation thing, because it's not like I don't feel like I deserve. I freaking deserve. I worked hard to be here, and I did stuff that no one else is prepared to do, right? But I didn't do it alone. So maybe it's like my internal way of like just going I did good, but you can do it too. I just got told what to do, and I did it. And what I was very good at was I'm very coachable. Like I jumped with a new coach this week, and I've just put 24 grand in his bank account, cash, plus VAT, by the way. And I just paid him 24 grand straight. I just had a feeling, jumped in the call with him. And he said to me, what's your best coaching experience you've had? What's your worst coaching experience you've had? And me as a coach, I said to him, I don't want to tell you that because I'm here in surrender mode. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. How do you want it? Because he's very smart. Probably the smartest coach I've ever had. And I'm like, I don't want to give you that. I don't want to pre-frame that because I want you to coach me how you want me to coach. And I know you've got a skill. I've seen you do it with other people. He's coaching people at 10 million, 20 million, $2, $3, $4 million profits. And I'm like, cool, I've got you. But I'm here, I'm surrender mode. So one of my challenges with coaching is that people think too much. It's really simple. I'm pretty good at this thing. Would you guys agree I'm pretty good at this thing? You wouldn't be here if you didn't believe that somewhere down in your heart. So what I'm saying now, I do also. This comes directly out of my quarterly. I said to my own team, we better be getting ready. Where's the screenings? Everyone looks at me and yawns. Everyone looks at me, rolls their eyes. Yeah, we're going to get punished. Because what if our online drops? Because I predict that's going to happen too. We need to get back to the boring. Everyone say, boring wins. And the more I can drag you to the boring, the more I know you're going to win. Honestly, the more I can remind you of the stuff that you used to do that made you grow, just go back to that. But you have to be in the right environment to do that. Does it make sense? Yes. Okay, cool. So live events, I'll never forget. So I was telling you a story about Blair. So Blair and I were going to do a business together at one point, and just never happened for whatever reason. And we were speaking about marketing. And he said to me, we were speaking about how to generate leads and how to grow the business. And one thing both Blair and I have in common, we've had experience with agencies. Now, all-encompassing agencies that work across many industries. Let me give you a fast track into that world. They suck. Because our industry is so niched and tiny and they don't know what a fucking in-house screening is, never, So even our agency, the way we've pitched it is about half of a full-time employee for, in my opinion, 10 times the results. Because you get to learn from our mistakes, okay? And if you go try a normal agency, good luck. I've been there. And there was a guy, he's a very big name. You've probably all seen him on stage. But he pitched us an agency pack. Now, I'm also trying to outsource, by the way, in my career. So I was like, cool, I can outsource all the marketing. Awesome. So his first quote was 10 grand a month. 10K a month. to do all my advertising, all my marketing. I was like, dude, like, can we start as like a relationship before we like, Cool, $5,000 a month, $5K a month. I probably was half the size. I probably only had 4 or 5 practices. And I kid you not when I say his results were so bad, eventually I took a brand new guy who knew nothing about marketing, and I just went, we're going to go through this course together, Flo. And I said, I literally said to him, okay, big shot, it's competition time. I'm coming for you. In 6 months, you've given me like 3 leads, not new patients, like a month. 3 leads. I'm paying you $5,000 a month, and you think you deserve $10K a month. Now, segue. Whenever I hear the following sentence, if you haven't, this is one of the greatest sentences I can pick up for someone who's fucking up. And the sentence is, but I'm adding value. Like, but dude, I'm paying you for results. Like, you said you're going to give me this many leads. Yeah, but I'm adding value. What? Like, how? No, but I'm adding value. So whenever I hear that sentence, or I need to be compensated for my time, only if someone hasn't set that if they're not paid per hour. So often they'll go into a relationship with someone, and then they'll mess up the deal, and then an agency, and then you'll be like, dude, we're cutting you. And like, well, we need to be compensated for our time. Well, no. That's not how the context was set. The context was results, not time. So often when I hear those two sentences, but I'm adding value, or I need to be compensated for my time, is always off the back of someone fucking up. Does that resonate with anyone? Yeah, but I need to be paid. Like, no, but there's results. I don't care about your time. Your time was to get the results. You're not getting the results. Why must I compensate for your time? Because you didn't set context in the beginning that I was paying you per hour. So when it comes to lead generation, when I told Blair the story, he was like, dude, I've lived it 1,000,000 times. And the worst thing is, you're going to forget. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you probably make the same mistake at some point when someone shows you some magic thing where they can give you 30,000 leads for fucking nothing, and you're probably going to fall into the same trap again. But you know what the thing has helped me more than anything in my 50-year career, whatever Blair's been doing it for? Nothing will ever match the quality and quantity of lead generation and new patients or any deal flow in any business hitting both quality and quantity than live events. You will never beat it. And if I have to drag you kicking and screaming till you realize that, you will never beat not so much those two together, quality and quantity. Because if they have to sit through an entire hour talk with you, Dr. Bruce, and then they decide to come do business with you, they have to be pretty motivated, and they have to resonate with you in some way, shape, or form, so that it makes your report of findings so much better. It makes your initial consultation so much more enjoyable. You guys understand, yes? So that's why John DeMartini changed his entire business to only be about talks. He was like, hey, I make money. And what he went out to do, he would go all the way to a company and get 5. He wanted 5 per company. Now, this is not wrong or right, but the effort that it goes to for you to take time out of your practice to go all the way there and get 5, I'm going to struggle to motivate you guys to do that. But should you do it? Now, another saying you hopefully have heard from me, if it's important that it's done, it's important that it's done, whether you do it or... So I'm gonna ask you that. You guys need to solve that problem. I can't solve all those problems. But if there's a way for you to get it done without you, you need to explore it. Because the lead source as such is still better than anything you'll ever experience in any online marketing, any type of thing you could ever do.